Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Podcast English Channel, where learning English is easy and fun. I'm Emily.
And I'm Alex. Hi, Emily. How are you today?
I'm great, Alex. And today, we're going to have a fun episode. We're going to tell stories about funny mistakes that happened in the past.
Ooh, I love this topic. Everyone makes mistakes sometimes, right? And some of them are really funny when we look back.
Exactly. And today, we'll practice using the simple past tense, which is perfect for telling past stories.
That's right. Remember, for regular verbs in the simple past, we usually add ed. For example, I laughed, I played, I watched.
And for irregular verbs, we have to remember the special forms, like went, ate, saw, made.
Perfect. So let's start with our first story. Emily, do you have a funny mistake story?
Oh, yes. This one happened last year. I went to a big party and I wanted to bring a gift for my friend. I bought a beautiful cake, but guess what happened?
What?
I put the cake on the bus and I was so careful, but when I got off the bus, the cake was upside down.
Oh, no. That's funny. What did you do?
I tried to fix it, but the frosting was everywhere. I was so embarrassed, but my friend laughed a lot. She said, "It's okay, Emily. It's the thought that counts."
That's so funny. And it's perfect for using the simple past. Went, bought, put, got, tried, laughed.
Exactly. And listeners, you can try telling your own funny mistake story in the comments or practice saying it aloud.
Great idea. Okay, let's do a little vocabulary check. Here are some words from Emily's story. 1. Upside down. The wrong way, not in the normal position. 2. Frosting. The sweet icing on a cake. 3. Embarrassed. Feeling shy or awkward about something. 4. The thought counts. A phrase meaning the effort is appreciated even if the result isn't perfect.
Excellent. Okay, now I'll tell another short, funny story, and listeners can try to guess what went wrong.
Sounds fun. Go ahead.
Last week, I tried cooking spaghetti for the first time. I boiled the water, added the pasta, and then I forgot to add salt.
Oh no, that's terrible for taste.
I know. And then I accidentally dropped half of it on the floor. My cat was very happy, though.
I love it. So the key verbs here are tried, boiled, added, forgot, dropped.
Exactly. And notice how all of them are in the simple past. That's the tense we use for finished actions in the past.
Perfect. Okay, let's give our listeners a short practice. Try making your own sentence. Last week, and tell us a funny mistake.
Yes, you can pause the podcast for a minute and try.
Great. Did you do it? Wonderful.
Okay, before we continue with more stories, let's summarize today's grammar tip. Use the simple past to tell about finished actions in the past. Don't forget regular versus irregular verbs.
And remember, adding a little humor makes your story more fun. Even mistakes can be funny.
Perfect. In the next part, we'll tell more stories and Alex will share his own funny mistake.
I can't wait. Stay with us, listeners.
Ooh, I can't wait to hear it. Go ahead, Alex.
Okay, I decided to go to the supermarket early in the morning. I was in a hurry, and I wanted to buy bread, milk, and eggs. Sounds simple, right?
Yes, what happened?
I accidentally took someone else's cart. I didn't notice until I got to the cashier.
Oh no! What was inside the cart?
It had a huge watermelon, 5 boxes of chocolates, and, wait for it, a pair of roller skates.
Oh no! That's hilarious!
I felt so embarrassed. I apologized to the owner of the cart and we laughed about it.
Perfect. And here are some useful verbs in the simple past from your story. Decided, wanted, took, noticed, got, had, apologized, and laughed.
Yes, and notice how we use the simple past to tell finished actions in the past. Each action happened once, in order.
Exactly. Okay, let's look at some vocabulary from Alex's story. Cart, the shopping basket on wheels in a supermarket. Embarrassed, feeling awkward or shy about something. Hurry, to move quickly because you are late. Apologize, to say sorry for a mistake.
Great. Now let's do a short dialogue using these words. Emily, you can be the cashier.
Okay.
Hi, I think I took the wrong cart. I'm really sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Don't worry. Did you notice it before you left?
Yes, I noticed at the cashier. I apologized to the owner.
Good. That was perfect. Listeners, you can try this dialogue with a friend. Swap roles.
How was that? Great. You just told a funny story using the simple past.
Now, let's do a short tip for speaking naturally. When you tell stories, you can add words like suddenly, all of a sudden, then, to make it more exciting.
Exactly. For example, suddenly I realized I had taken the wrong cart. It makes the story more fun and engaging.
And don't forget to add emotions. Words like embarrassed, surprised, happy, excited make your story come alive.
Yes. Okay, let's give our listeners a challenge. Think of a funny mistake you made recently. Tell your story using at least 3 simple past verbs and 1 emotion word.
Pause the podcast and try it for 2 to 3 minutes. Don't worry about mistakes. We are learning English by practicing.
How was it? Amazing, I'm sure. Remember, the simple past is your best friend for telling funny or interesting stories from the past.
In the next part, we'll tell more stories and include some dialogue with friends and family. That way, you'll learn how to naturally describe a funny mistake in conversation.
Stay tuned, and remember, don't be afraid to laugh at your mistakes. It's all part of learning and having fun in English.
Everyone, in the last part, Alex shared his shopping cart story. Now, let's talk about funny mistakes with friends or family.
Oh, yes. Sometimes mistakes are even funnier when other people are involved. Emily, do you have a story?
I do. Last summer, I went camping with my friends. I wanted to impress everyone by starting a campfire.
Uh-oh, I can already imagine something went wrong.
Yes, I tried to light the fire with matches, but I kept failing. Finally, I thought maybe I need more wood. So I added a lot, and suddenly the fire became huge.
Oh no! Was everyone okay?
Yes, thankfully. But my friends were laughing so hard, and I was very embarrassed. We had to carefully control the fire together.
That's perfect for using the simple past. Went, wanted, tried, kept, added, became, were, laughed, was.
Exactly. Now let's look at some vocabulary from this story. Campfire, a fire made outdoors for cooking or warmth. Match, a small stick that produces fire when struck. Embarrassed, feeling awkward or shy about a mistake. Control, to manage or handle something carefully.
Great. Now let's do a short dialogue to practice. I'll be your friend.
Okay.
Emily, what happened with the fire?
I tried to light it, but I added too much wood. It became huge.
That's funny. Were you okay?
Yes, but I was very embarrassed.
Perfect. Listeners, try this dialogue with a friend or record yourself.
Now, I have another short story about a funny mistake with my family. Last week, my little brother asked me to help him make pancakes. I followed the recipe, but I accidentally added salt instead of sugar.
Oh no, how did it taste?
Terrible. My brother laughed, my parents laughed, and I had to make a second batch.
That's perfect. Another simple past story. Asked, helped, followed, added, laughed, had.
Yes, and here's some vocabulary. 1. Recipe. Instructions for cooking a meal. 2. Salt. A seasoning not sweet. 3. Sugar. Sweet substance used in desserts. 4. Batch. A group of food cooked together.
Now, listeners, let's practice. Make a sentence about a funny cooking mistake you've made using the simple past.
Pause the podcast and try it for a minute.
Great! How was it? Fantastic. Remember, adding emotions like embarrassed, surprised, happy, excited makes your story more natural.
Yes, and here's a storytelling tip. Include small details. Instead of just saying, I made a mistake, you can say, I accidentally added salt instead of sugar, and my brother laughed so hard.
Perfect. It makes your story funny and more engaging for listeners.
Before we finish this part, let's do a mini challenge. Think of a funny mistake you made with a friend or family member. Use at least 5 simple past verbs and 1 emotion word.
Try telling your story aloud or write it down. Don't worry about mistakes. We are practicing.
Next part, we'll share even more stories, including funny mistakes at school or work, and teach you more vocabulary and expressions for storytelling.
Stay tuned. And remember, every mistake is a story waiting to be told.
We talked about funny mistakes with friends and family. Now, let's share some stories about mistakes at school or work.
Yes, these mistakes can be really funny, especially when you look back later. Emily, do you have a story from school?
I do. This happened in high school. I had a big presentation in front of the class. I was so nervous that I spilled water on my notes right before I started.
Oh no, what did you do?
I tried to dry the papers quickly, but some of the ink smudged. I ended up reading a few words wrong, and my classmates laughed.
That's a classic school mistake. And the simple past verbs here are had, spilled, tried, smudged, ended up, laughed.
Exactly. Let's look at some vocabulary. 1. Presentation. When you talk to a group about a topic. 2. Nervous. Feeling worried or anxious. 3. Spill. To drop liquid by accident. 4. Smudge. A mark made by something wet or dirty.
Now let's do a short dialogue practice. I'll be your classmate.
Okay.
Emily, did you spill your water?
Yes, I tried to fix it, but my notes got smudged.
Don't worry, everyone makes mistakes.
Perfect. Listeners, try this dialogue with a friend, swapping roles.
Now, I have a funny mistake from work. Last month, I sent an email to the wrong person. It was meant for my boss, but I sent it to my coworker.
Oh no, what happened?
My coworker replied with a funny comment and we both laughed. I learned to double-check emails after that.
That's a good lesson. Simple past verbs here: sent, was meant, replied, laughed, and learned.
And some vocabulary. 1. Email, a message sent electronically. 2. Coworker, someone you work with. 3. Reply, to answer a message. 4. Double check, to check carefully again.
Remember, when you tell a story, you can also use words like suddenly, all of a sudden, at first, finally, to make it more exciting.
For example, at first I thought everything was fine, but suddenly I realized I sent the email to the wrong person.
Exactly. It makes your story feel more natural and fun.
Before we finish this part, here's a quick challenge for our listeners. Think of a funny mistake you made at school or work. Use at least 5 simple past verbs, 1 emotion word, and 1 time expression, like yesterday, last week, last month.
Pause the podcast and try it for 2 to 3 minutes.
Great job, everyone. In the next part, we'll talk about traveling mistakes and funny stories while on vacation. That's always entertaining.
Yes, stay tuned. And remember, mistakes are not just okay, they're stories waiting to be told.
In the last part, we talked about mistakes at school and work. Now, let's talk about funny mistakes while traveling or on vacation.
Yes, traveling is always full of surprises, and sometimes mistakes can be hilarious. Emily, do you have a story?
I do. Last summer, I went to the beach with some friends. I wanted to take a perfect selfie with the ocean behind me.
Uh-oh, what happened?
I stepped backward and fell in the sand. My friends couldn't stop laughing.
That's classic. And the simple past verbs here are went, wanted, stepped backward, fell, and laughed.
Yes, let's look at some vocabulary. 1. Selfie, a photo you take of yourself. 2. Ocean, the large body of salt water. 3. Step backward, to move 1 step back. 4. Sand, the small grains found on beaches.
Now, let's do a short dialogue practice. I'll be your friend.
Okay. Emily, are you okay? You fell in the sand.
Yes, I'm fine, but it was so funny, and I laughed too.
Perfect. Listeners, try this dialogue with a friend, swapping roles.
Now, I have another story from my last vacation. I was on a train in a foreign country. I wanted to buy a snack, but I accidentally gave the ticket to the vendor instead of money.
Oh no, how did that happen?
I was nervous because the train was crowded. The vendor laughed, I realized my mistake, and everyone around was laughing too.
That's a great story. Simple past verbs here are was, wanted, gave, realized, laughed.
Yes, vocabulary from the story. 1. Vendor, a person selling food or items. 2. Crowded, full of people. 3. Nervous, feeling worried or anxious. 4. Snack, a small amount of food.
Now, mini exercise time. Make a sentence about a funny travel mistake using at least 4 simple past verbs and 1 emotion word.
That was fun. Remember, adding small details makes your story more engaging. Instead of just saying, I fell in the sand, you can say, I tried to take a perfect selfie, but I stepped backward and fell in the soft sand. Everyone laughed so much.
Yes, also using time expressions like last summer, yesterday, on my trip, during vacation makes your story clearer.
Before we finish this part, here's a challenge. Think of a funny mistake that happened while traveling or on vacation. Use at least 5 simple past verbs, 1 emotion word, and 1 time expression. Try telling your story aloud or write it down. The more details you add, the funnier your story becomes.
Wow, listeners, we've had so much fun today sharing all these funny mistakes at home, at school, at work, on vacation, and even while cooking or shopping.
Yes, and the best part is, every mistake is a story. Using the simple past tense helps us tell these stories clearly and naturally.
Exactly. Let's quickly review some key tips from this podcast. 1. Use the simple past tense for all actions that happened in the past. 2. Include emotions like embarrassed, surprised, happy, or shocked to make your story lively. 3. Include small details and time expressions like yesterday, last week, or last summer. 4. Use words like suddenly, all of a sudden, at first, finally to make your story exciting.
5. Don't be afraid to laugh at your mistakes. It makes your story much more fun.
Also, remember to practice telling your own stories aloud or write them down. Try sharing them with friends, family, or even in the comments below.
Yes, learning English isn't just about grammar. It's about using it to communicate, have fun, and share experiences.
Before we say goodbye, here's a little challenge for you. Think of your funniest mistake and tell it using at least 5 simple past verbs, 1 emotion word, and 1 time expression. Bonus points if you add a funny detail.
And remember, the more you practice telling stories, the more confident and natural your English will become.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you had fun, laughed a lot, and learned some new ways to tell funny stories in English.
Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this podcast with your friends. And if you try telling a story, tag us or write it in the comments. We'd love to hear it.
Until next time, keep smiling, keep laughing at your mistakes, and keep practicing English.
Bye-bye, everyone.